people frequently claim that immigrants and poor black families are living off the system. They're on welfare. They're mooching. But here is the truth. The majority of people on public assistance in the United States of America are white.
A lot of people that are on food stamps and live in really poor areas also are Trump voters.
Am I a bad person because I got a little smile on my face when I found out that 42% of the people that receive SNAP benefits are white people in red states?
This is for all the MAGA voters posting about not getting a shit about people not getting their SNAP benefits. Quick education, 55% of whites voted for Trump. Whites are the people who use SNAP benefits the most. They make up 37% of SNAP benefit recipients. And most of those people are in the Southeast and other rural areas.
I voted for him for lower grocery prices. Not only has that not happened, I'm getting my food stamps taken. I did not ask for this.
Too many privileged white people are coming here on this app and they're talking about people that benefit from food stamps, which most of them happen to be white. Most of them happen to live in Republican states, red state. Now, don't blame the Democrats because this is absolutely Trump's doing. He can fund it if he wanted to. He's funding ICE. He's sending $40 billion to Argentina. Why are you not mad with him? The only thing the Democrats want to do is make sure that you have affordable health care. And people are getting their notice. So not only you're not going to have your food stamps until the government is back in order, but you're going to have a big freaking health care bill coming January. And before you start coming over here complaining about the Democrats, I need you to go to the videos in which people are crying. Teachers, healthcare professionals, in which their insurance has doubled or even tripled. Good luck on trying to get food and trying to stay healthy.
Seeing white people in real time come on this platform with the realization that SNAP benefits is the same thing as food stamps and EBT, it's quite comedic. I can't lie, it's a little funny. And not funny, haha, funny, weird, because they did the same shit with Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act. They didn't realize that they were one and the same, just two different names. SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, EBT, food stamps, they're all the same, just different. You know, one is just like the government official name. I don't know. That's the thing about racism and being racist. It's a sickness. It's a disease that's generational, if we're being quite frank. And y'all don't want to heal from it. Y'all don't want to get better because you feel like you can stand on some imaginary pedestal instead of, I don't know, instead of allowing everyone to get benefits that make all of our lives better. You will cut off your nose to spite your face. You will shoot yourself in the foot in the name of making things difficult for a demographic that you just don't like, for something that they can't change, their skin. But then you don't realize you're hurting yourself too. And a lot of these politicians, the only color they care about is green. Money is their god. Money is who they serve.
Baby, white TikTok is in a frenzy, and while I have my voice right now, I'm gonna use that hoe. They don't understand how their SNAP benefits are being cut off in November. They literally thought when they heard SNAP benefits, it was only gonna hit the black folks, okay? Now I'm gonna say this. When the government shuts down, it does not just shut down for one particular group of people. It shuts down for everybody. So yes, white people in the Midwest, these Appalachian white folks, y'all ain't gonna have y'all shit either. Now I am gonna say this, when you decided to vote for that man, you put a wild card on the table during UNO. You don't know which way this man is gonna go. And no, I am not blaming Democrats once again.
Absolutely love your comment, okay? Love it. You are correct with no 1 to 2%, okay? You are very, very close. I'm sure you did your fact checking, but you brought up something very important about race, and it does need to be talked about because you are correct. The data you talked about. So the latest USDA stats do show us that about 36 to 38% of SNAP participants are white, aka on the form, non-Hispanic. That means 62 to 64% are from other racial/ethnic groups. But it also means that this is a nationwide program. It reaches across racial lines and economic classes, right? So if someone were to tell you SNAP is only for minorities, that's definitely false. It's for low-income people of all races. I will get into why I just stated that here shortly. But let's get into the racial data and why it actually does matter and why your comment matters so much right now. So authoritarian governments have historically used divide and conquer, telling one group, you pay, they're taking it, or they're different than you. If people believe it's just for them over there and not for themselves, they may accept cuts actually when their own community is targeted next. The fact that a significant portion of recipients are white means any rollback is still everyone's problem, not just one racial group.
So many racist white people are okay with SNAP benefits being removed from everybody in the United States of America, and they sit here and act like they're not the largest recipients of SNAP benefits in this country.
I need somebody to tell me they're lying. I need somebody to tell me they're lying right now, because what the fuck you mean that I'm not gonna get my SNAP benefits? What the fuck do you mean? Because what the fuck is happening? Do you understand that there are people like me who cannot work? Do you understand there are people like me who have kids who cannot eat? Do you understand there are people like me who go hungry the last week of the month just so my kids can't eat? Because SNAP benefits is all we get? I need somebody to please tell me he's lying. I can't do. Oh.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, white Americans are freaking out after realizing something they were never told. They actually make up the largest share of SNAP food stamp users in the country. For decades, politicians and media have pushed the idea that welfare and food stamp were mostly for black or brown people, but the fact don't lie. The majority of SNAP recipients are white, and now that cut are coming under Trump's latest push. A lot of people are suddenly realizing they are the ones on the chopping block.
A lot of people that are on food stamps and live in really poor areas also are Trump voters. I'm seeing a lot of videos right now where a lot of people are really pissed at Trump. They weren't mad at him when they got to see other people lose stuff, but now that it affects them. See, we're dealing with the kind of person here that takes joy in watching people lose stuff. They were indoctrinated from middle school. When they watch their middle school team lose or win, they get to go, ha 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 ha, I love watching you lose. That's what America does. It's called indoctrination. We now have a president who is like a toddler. He made an AI video where he dropped excrement from a F-whatever fighter jet, and he's wearing a crown. This is like a toddler in the White House, and he's punishing his own people who voted for him if they're poor. He is sending a signal to America that he's taking from you to give to his buddies, and this is what you voted for. A lot of people that are on food stamps and live in really poor areas also are Trump voters. I'm seeing a lot of videos right now where a lot of people are really pissed at Trump. They weren't mad at him when they got to see other people lose.
In America, there is a misconception about who is on welfare. Now, let me just say this. There is no one program in the United States that constitutes welfare. There are many social programs in the United States that are part of what the United States calls the social safety net, which is really not much of a safety net at all when you consider the meager benefits that people receive. So what I've decided to do is look quickly at the statistics from the last census. Now, this holds true going back, but actually in the last 20 years, it has increased. The number of people receiving public benefits of some sort or another has increased amongst one particular demographic, and that is amongst white people. 20 years ago, 61% of all the people receiving public benefits of some kind in the United States were white people. Today, 76.2% of all the people receiving some form of public benefit were white people.
Finally, you get to see the true America. The stipulation has always been that black people are lazy, that black people are on welfare. Well, guess what? A lot of poor white people in the red states are now crying that they're not getting the EBT money from the EBT cards. Why? Because they are on welfare. They have 7 and 8 kids. Now the truth is coming out since Trump has slashed funding for the EBT and the SNAP programs. You see how many white people now are on welfare. So all all this mythical stuff about black people being on welfare. Oh, it's the blacks, it's the blacks, it's the blacks. Now you're seeing the real America, that it's not only black people on welfare, that there are a lot of white people on welfare also. There are a lot of white people, a lot of poor people living in those red states, and those red states that voted for Trump are now getting hit hard.
Remember how I told you the longer this government shutdown lasts, the worse it's going to get? Well, we are now 20 days into it, and worse is almost here for more than 40 million men, women, and kids who get food assistance from the U.S. government's SNAP program.
And an important role of the government is to provide that safety nest for those with the least among us. Today, I think New York announced that they can't continue taking new enrollees because of the government shutdown in SNAP, in our food stamp program. We're going to run out of money in 2 weeks. So you're talking about millions and millions of vulnerable families, of hungry families that are not going to have access to these programs because of this shutdown.
That was the Secretary of Agriculture who said last week that by November 1st, an estimated 42 million Americans could be shut out of the SNAP program. Recipients just wouldn't get their benefits. Now, just to be clear, SNAP is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It used to be called food stamps, and it is the government program that provides food benefits to low-income families in order to supplement their grocery budgets. Now, according to the Agriculture Department, about 12% of U.S. residents receive SNAP benefits, and as of 2024, that SNAP benefit averaged about $190 a month. According to this letter, though, sent to all SNAP administrators in all states nationwide 10 days ago, if the government does not reopen, there will be insufficient funds to pay full November SNAP benefits. The acting administrator of SNAP went on to say in the letter, in the interest of preserving maximum flexibility, state SNAP offices should not be sending out monthly issuance files to vendors. And without those issuance files, vendors cannot load SNAP benefits onto those EBT cards. And if the benefits aren't loaded onto the EBT cards, then SNAP beneficiaries don't have the money to buy the groceries they need. It's a ripple effect. So if you do receive SNAP benefits, what is this going to mean for you? Well, the fact is the government is shut down because, as I've been reporting, Congress cannot agree on how to allocate money to each government department. The Department of Agriculture is one of those government departments, and it oversees SNAP benefits. So until the shutdown is ended, legally, they can't spend any money, including on your SNAP benefits. Each state, though, is handling this differently. Some are doing exactly what this letter says and cutting off all November SNAP payments. Some are reportedly considering sending out partial payments in November, and it's also possible that your state may pay for the benefits up front themselves and then try and get some kind of reimbursement from the federal government. But that is all in limbo right now. So if you are in this program and you are concerned about your November benefits, I highly suggest that you check your state's SNAP program website to figure out if there's anything you should be doing right now to prepare yourself. It's also possible, because of the shutdown, the Trump administration could do for SNAP what they say they are going to do for the WIC program and the 7 million low-income women and children who rely on that food assistance program. The White House said that it will temporarily use tariff revenue to pay for WIC. We will have to wait and see if they choose to do the same thing for SNAP.
If you are naive enough to think that the pause to SNAP benefits on November 1st isn't going to affect you because you don't receive food stamps, I want you to hear this. About 1 in 8 Americans receive SNAP benefits. In fact, in Oklahoma, where I live, that's 1 in 6 people. So about 600,000 people in my state alone, Oklahoma, receive SNAP benefits. If you are naive enough to think that the pause to SNAP benefits on November 1st isn't going to affect you because you don't receive food stamps, I want you to hear this. About 1 in 8 Americans receive SNAP benefits. In fact, in Oklahoma, where I live, that's 1 in 6 people. So about 600,000 people in my state alone, Oklahoma, receive SNAP benefits. About 1 in 4 children in the U.S. receive SNAP benefits. But you're not one of those people, so you don't care, but hang with me. When those benefits go away, just about $9 billion in grocery spending vanishes. So you've got to be thinking about not just the grocery stores being able to stay open and pay their employees, but you have to think about the entire supply chain, trucks on the road, people who provide food to these grocery stores. $9 billion. Every dollar spent in SNAP benefits adds about $1.50 to $1.80 to the economy. So cutting those benefits isn't saving that dollar, it's taking away that $1.50 to your local economy. But you don't receive SNAP benefits, you don't work for a grocery store, you don't drive a truck, you don't give a shit. But when all of those things happen, the only way to combat that is to drastically increase the price of groceries. Grocery prices are already up over 3% in 2025 alone, which is almost an entire percentage higher than the average increase in grocery prices over the last 20 years. I thought they were supposed to go down day one though. So even if SNAP benefits only pause for 1 month, which by the way would be detrimental to all the people I mentioned before that you don't give a shit about, it will cost the economy roughly $13 to $14 billion in profit. And you can expect your grocery prices in just that 1 month to go up at least 1%. And states will stand to lose about $300 to $500 million in sales tax revenue. So even if you do not receive SNAP benefits, you never have, you never will, you do not want these to be paused on November 1st.
If you don't get your SNAP benefits in November and you voted for Trump, please make the video when you realize you're not going to be able to eat for the month of November. If you don't get your SNAP benefits and you voted for Kamala, please let us know and we will make sure that your month of November and Thanksgiving are as equally good as if you got your benefits. We'll get GoFundMe's going, things like that. But only for the people that voted for Kamala.
So the White House is telling states not to issue people SNAP benefits in November. Now, I've never gotten SNAP benefits. I don't get food stamps. I don't get Medicaid. I don't get any government assistance. I've never been eligible for it. I've always made too much money. But I've never had a problem with my taxpayer money going to feed people. Ever. I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, food stamps could be universal to where anyone in the country can sign up for it. And I wouldn't mind paying that. I have a bigger problem paying for, like, you know, the F-35 that we've spent billions of dollars on and it still doesn't fly properly, or the fact that Congress is still getting paid during a government shutdown while we're all working and the government is not functioning. And usually during government shutdowns, they make sure that food stamps and things like that keep going out because, you know, children will starve. And I don't care about my tax money going to feeding starving children. I'm a lot more pissed about the $40 billion that Donald Trump is sending down to Argentina than I am about some mom who's trying to feed her kids. And if you have a problem with some mom trying to feed her kids, then there's something wrong with you. And if you don't have a problem with the government stopping using our money to pay for these kids food like they're supposed to, then I don't know what the fuck's wrong.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how white people, they thought that food stamp, it is a majority of the people who are in food stamp, they are black Americans or the minority group or the people of the color. But in real sense, it has come out and they are realizing that the majority of people who are in food stamp, they are white people but not black Americans, simply because when the government ends the SNAP benefit, we have been seeing majority of people who have been coming out crying, who have been coming out complaining about the government ending food stamp. Majority of them, they are white. It is not black. Simply, this is to tell you that these people, they are now realizing that they were played, because the government has been coming out saying majority of people who are in food stamp, they are black people. The media, it has also been telling them that black people, they are having the more of them, they are in the food stamp. But in real sense, white Americans right now, they're coming out and realizing that the people who are really going to suffer with this food stamp, it is them, because they are having, majority of them, they are in food SNAP. So guys, I want to read some of the comment here and see what majority of Americans, they have come out and say, especially the black Americans. So this one is saying that these stupid people have been voting against their own best interests for decades. Exactly. So these people, they have been voting against their own interests. Even they voted for this SNAP benefit to end. Yeah, they voted for this SNAP benefit to end, knowing that majority of people who they are going to suffer, it is the black people. It is the people of the color, but not them. But they are coming out and realizing, no, the people who are going really to suffer, it is us white people, because we are the majority in the food stamp. This one is saying that white people started collecting food stamp in 1939. Black folks weren't able to get them until 1964. You can see, so because of this statistic, you can see who are the largest people in the SNAP benefit, because for the white people, they started food stamp 1939. But black people, they came out later in 1964. 1964. that it is the time when black people, they started getting a SNAP benefit. So this one saying that white women are finding out real quick that both DEI and SNAP were actually for them. Yeah, right now they're realizing that SNAP benefit were actually for white people, but not black people. They have been not depending so much on the SNAP benefit. No, black people, they have never depended so much in SNAP benefit. Majority of people, they depended in SNAP benefit, they are white. Yeah. This one is saying that being stupid and racist is turning out to be a very expensive. Exactly. Right now they are realizing that racism, it is very expensive. This one is saying that I did not ask for this. She say you did. Exactly. So whatever right now they are going through, majority of the white people, the MAGA people, the Republicans, they are coming out and saying they didn't not vote for this. But who voted? There are the people who voted, because I remember during the voting time, black people, they tried to warn them not to vote for this administration. They didn't listen. But these people, they ignore warning from black people. They went ahead and vote. So right now we are seeing they don't have a food stamp. Right now we are seeing their Medicaid, their Medicare ended. Right now we are seeing their farmers, they are going bankrupt. Majority of their farmers, they are selling their lands, and the people who are buying the lands, they are the people who are in government, the JD funds. They are the people who are buying the farmers' land. So this is to tell that these people, they were played, and they should not vote for racism next time. This one is saying that racism is not an illness, it is a choice. This one is saying that racism is a choice and a disease. Here is a choice. Exactly, racism, it is a choice and it is a disease. This one is saying that poor people are not welfare queens, corporations are. This one is saying that she wanted lower grocery price. Now she gets zero groceries. Yeah, so this was saying that the lady that said that she voted for lower grocery price, right now she's getting zero grocery. This one is saying that Obamacare scared them to high even, but the Affordable Care Act was great. They're all informed. This one is saying that so many white people who voted for Trump needed to experience the policies they vote for, painful but necessary. This one is saying that I am a retired social worker and physiologist. I once case managed food stamp, and yes, white statistically are the majority receiving food stamp, and they have been for many years. Exactly. So this one, he has come out and also tell us the truth. The white people, they are the majority. So this one saying that I work as a social worker in a southern state. I worked there for 7 years before I retired. Of the many cases I had in those 7 years, I only had 2 black families on my case. Lord, all the rest were abusive white people who beat and neglected their children. My eyes were open as economic factor did not indicate who the abusers were. When you ride around your town in really nice neighborhoods, you would be shocked at the abuse going in those affluent homes. It is kept under wrapped. I am white guy if you wondered it. Yeah, you can see this is from a white guy. This one is saying that this administration is revealing the truth about white America. Yeah, exactly. I'm so happy to see the truth right now. It is coming out because white people, they have been voting to punish black people for a very long time, for over 500 years. These people, they have been voting just to punish black Americans, and also they have been voting against their own interests. They have been voting for racism. This time also they voted for deportation, but they are now coming out and realizing that whatever they've been doing, it is a mistake. They've been doing wrong things towards black people. But right now also the same punishment they've been voting to punish black people, also right now they are going through those punishment. This one saying that I didn't ask for this or I didn't vote for this claims are false, mainly because they did vote for this, because they thought it will affect someone else. Every time they find out that isn't true, they crying and BS excuse come out. This is exactly what they ask and vote for. This country is about to fall as they are following the exact same game plans the same game plans as the failed empire throughout history followed. Exactly. So they've been coming out and saying they've been not voting for this, but these people, they have voted for this. These people, they voted to punish other, but because they are seeing also they're being punished, they're now coming out and say they didn't vote for this, meaning that they didn't vote also for them to be punished. So this one is saying that 57% of SNAP benefit are white American, 36% are Southern Republican state. Yeah. So 57% of SNAP benefit are white Americans, 36% are Southern Republicans. So that one needs to get into your head, especially for the MAGA people who are watching me. This one is saying that Trump don't give a day about poor white people. This one is saying that I didn't vote for this. Yes, they didn't. They told you. This one saying that I was talking to a white man just before the delay of SNAP. To make a long story short, he stated that he thought that it was great that SNAP was getting suspended, but that he was on food stamp and it would affect his benefit. I was confused and asked him what he was talking about, so he explained that SNAP stood for Subsidy for National African People. Oh, okay, he could wrap his head around the fact that SNAP was food stamp and accuse me out because I was stupid and uninformed. I wonder if the light finally came on. What if I wrong with people? So you can see these people, they were thought that SNAP was meant for black, but they are coming out and realizing that, oh, majority of their families, majority of their friends, they are also in SNAP benefits. So kindly guys, you can also share your thought on the comment section. I'll be reading it in my next video. Kindly subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye.